What's up, friends? What's up, friends? I am coming to you from the banks of the mighty rivers of America. So far, I have had a fantastic, quiet Disneyland evening, and I was filming for a new series I'm doing called Sights and Sounds of Disneyland, where the idea is to make a playlist of videos that you can put on that are quiet, mellow, and just something to kind of relax to. I want it to be like something you can fall asleep to, or what I've always dreamed of having, a window into the park. So I was filming this little area back here outside of the New Orleans Square train station, and one of the nice security guards saw my obsession with the park, and she decided to say, hey, do you want to know the history of this area? And I said, yes, absolutely I do. And so I now know the history of a part of the park that I've tried to research often. And I now know the story of Magnolia Park and Magnolia Fountain, which is something like, I'm geeking out because I've been trying to research this on my own. Even when I was fortunate enough to go on a Disneyland private tour with one of the plaid vest fellas, I asked my tour guide, I said, do you know anything about this fountain? Because I've not been able to figure out anything on it. So I now know its name, and wow, that your love runs deep when finding out the name of a fountain is what gets you going. As you can see over my shoulder, there is the Haunted Mansion, which is going under a long refurb. It's probably going to open up, I think I've heard, this spring. But right now they have a real cool lighting effect on it where it's just like one or two sort of like Haunted Mansion mint green lights shining on it. So it looks even creepier when it's not running. I saw a couple of you say hello when I first fired it up. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody coming out. And I'm hanging out on the rivers of America. And you know the deal when we do Disneyland Uber. You tell me where you want to go via the Super Chat as a way to support the channel. So I'm going to get it off my strong 7 face and show you a little bit where I'm at. Mark Twain is still undergoing its annual refurbishment, as you can see there. And as I spin it around, the river is pretty quiet tonight. Park closes at 9 p.m. this evening, so it's pretty mellow for the 7 o'clock hour. So that fountain I was telling you about, that's it right there. Magnolia Park, named after all the magnolia trees that surround it. I had always wondered what the story on this place was. Earlier I had planned on just shooting all of New Orleans Square, but then I just kind of fell in love with just digging out the details of this little park. So Sunday I'll be releasing that as another one of my sights and sounds, where I just want to give you a window into the park. My goal would be a year from now, we would have a playlist of several of these videos. So you could literally put it on, go to sleep to it, or put it on while you work and just have, like, you know, on your iPad or your computer, like a little window into Disneyland. So I'm hanging out over here by the river. If anybody wants to request a location, just hit up the Super Chat and I'll be more than happy to drive you over to that location as I give you intel and fun tips all along the way, as well as how to navigate the park. So I hope you're having fun wherever you're at, and I'm bringing a little Disneyland into your living room. Gonna spin this camera around for a second for you guys. Just look at some of the sights of New Orleans Square. It's pretty quiet tonight. I think because of the park closing at 9. I didn't even look at the show schedule, but I don't think there's much going on this evening. So, bad night if you're in from out of town. Perfect night if you're a local like myself. Look at this, we have the pathway to ourself. Let's pop in the next cove here and see what we get. There's Done by Saturday. Thunder Mountain Churro Cart. Oh yeah. Let's work our way over to Big Thunder Mountain. Waltz Lamp. Oh, okay. All right. That's 2. Let me know if I missed one. I was getting the camera configured. All right, we're off to Big Thunder Mountain's Churro Cart first. Thank you so much, Done by Saturday, for supporting the channel. I think today's like 21 days in a row I've been able to post to the YouTube channel, and I appreciate everybody for helping make that happen. All right, let's cruise around the rivers of America, where as you can see, we have it basically to ourselves, which is really nice. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you following along and commenting and helping me get this thing off the ground. It's been going pretty well. I think I pointed this out to you guys a while ago, but I was in a hurry. If you look up into that room right there, you can see that there's like monitors and stuff. That is the brain for Fantasmic. All right. Let's just cruise along here to the old Churro Cart. Waltz Lamp. Woo! What a deep dive. The Waltz Lamp is a good pick because that basically takes us to the very edge. So unfortunately, well, no, I guess an Uber driver can't wait till the very end to do one that's close to his house. So do a little backtracking. Thanks. I appreciate that you're enjoying the quality. Yeah, doing a story on the bands might be kind of hard and unfulfilling if you can't play into the music. But we'll see what we can come up with. All right, let's get that Churro Cart. So this cart is a popcorn cart. It smells amazing. There is a Disneyland for Designers in the work. Sorry, I didn't catch your screen name. I'm out here driving my Uber. But there is a Disneyland for Designers in the works. It just, we have to wait for Jerrod to ride Rise of the Resistance first. And, well, little man's been busy. He's been too busy working for Disneyland to do it. So there you go. Churros by Frontierland right there, right next to the Golden Horseshoe. But yeah, the next Disneyland for Designers podcast will be Jerrod and I breaking down the new Rise of the Resistance. Hey, what's up there, bud? My fellow citizen. So while we're here, oh yeah, this is the real one though. This cart's smells amazing. I'm swimming upstream. All right, let's see if we can't get out of this chaos. Right. Ah, it is open. Sweet. So when you see this area right here open, you have to do your civic duty of Disneyland to walk up it. Because unfortunately, a couple just walked in before me, but we're going to be the only people here, I guarantee you. Oh, there's a few folks. But generally, you'll have this all to yourself. All right, let's just perch up here for a minute. See how we can see that top turret of Sleeping Beauty. Breaking the sight lines there. We've got all this traffic. I'm assuming there's a lot of people either coming from Fantasyland or exiting from the Galaxy's Edge, with two of its entry points ahead of us. A lot of people enjoy going through the main center one, but I like coming in through the Resistance. All right, let's work our way over to Walt's Lamp, which is a pretty good stroll from here. All right, let's head over to Walt's Lamp, which I went to this special event and heard an amazing story about that room, which I'll try to tell you slowly when I'm in quiet spots. All right, we're going to go Frontierland because that's always less congested. Man, the smell of popcorn is contagious tonight. The old Golden Horseshoe. It'll be all right, bud. And they are having a party. There's just baby shoes thrown everywhere over there. Somebody is overdosed on the magic tonight. Bless his little heart. See the Frontierland. Oh, the smell-o-vision would be so hot. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying these. Let me just pause here. Jeff Pike says, is Columbia running tonight? Caught a night cruise last year. It was amazing. Yeah, Columbia is running with Mark Twain being in the ditch. It's got to have one boat out. Can't put them both in there. So yeah, Columbia is sailing. And the late night boat rides are so fantastic. Let's see, those are the sweetheart balloons. All right, let's take this path.
Okay, I'm following you guys.
The old Jolly Holiday. Let's just center that up for a second and look at how great it is. All right, we were working our way down to Walt's candle, or light, I should say, which, if you don't know the story, whenever Walt was in the park, they would turn his candle on, or the light on, I should say. It's not a candle. That'd be a fire hazard. But they would turn it on to let everybody know that Walt was in the park. And I went to an event where they had everybody that was here on opening day that was working, that was still alive and able to make it to Anaheim, do a speaking engagement. And it was the settlers of Disneyland, which I love that term. And one of the Mouseketeers, original Mouseketeers, told us a story about how on opening day they took them up into that room to give them a break from the heat, from the sun, let them relax before their next performance. And she said she heard somebody come up the stairs, and she looked over, and it was Mr. Disney. And she said he walked over to one of the windows, leaned on it with his forearm, and he peered out the window. His park was alive. People were flooding in. They were laughing. They were smiling. They were blown away by the magic of Disneyland. And she said because of her height, being a young girl, she was able to look up at Mr. Disney and see the tears rolling down his cheeks. And that story alone was worth the price of admission. To just think of the joy he must have felt on opening day when people finally came in and brought it to life. It is so weird without a giant pumpkin or a Christmas tree there when the holidays are over. So if you may not know, above the Disneyland firehouse, I feel like this is one that everybody knows, was Walt's apartment. It's a pretty tiny apartment. His wife did the interior design of it. But here it is. The Disney family, when they would come to the park, would stay right up there above the fire department. And so whenever Walt was in the park, they would turn that lamp on. And when he passed away, they decided to just leave it on always, so that his presence would always be felt. I have not toured the apartment yet. You know, got to leave some things. It's a long Disney life. I can't do them all in the first few years. But I do love this mural right here. Look at that D. The gradient in there is top notch. I think you can hear the train behind me. So there we go. We have knocked out 2 fares tonight. Thank you guys both. Quick stop to the bat signal, no problem. I want to show you something first though while we're here. So these windows on Main Street that are, you know, just decked out with history and theming. I found out a fun fact when I became friends with a woman who used to do the set design for these. If you look right here, you can see a key lock, which in a pretty genius way, these windows open toward us. So that when it's time to redo the windows, they come out here, open the window, sit out on Main Street, pull out everything, get in there, clean it. And if you think about how much retail exists on the backside of these windows, to have it open from the street is amazing. Let's look at the other side. So imagine removing all of that to try to do your window display. So the windows actually open out onto the street, which is genius when you think about how much space you need to do a good design. All right, let's cruise over to the bat signal, which is the red and white Disneyland For Designers light bulb. All right, let's go down Main Street. Another fun fact for you, the Main Street magic. This is where a young Steve Martin from Garden Grove, California, worked his first job. You want to take a Uber fare. You want to go deeper in the park. I can just smell the fares coming in. All right, let's work our way over to the magic light bulb. I believe I'm making it back to Paris again this year, and I'm pretty pumped up to see that castle again. Not that I don't love ours, but boy, oh boy, did Tony Baxter outdo himself with the design of that park. Beautiful. Not as magical, but beautiful. So tomorrow the street will be flooded with myself and other folks celebrating 80s night as part of Disney After Dark. So we'll see what it's like to go back into the 80s tomorrow. All right, let's work our way up to our light bulb. And boom, There it is. The old, we got too many light bulbs to do our pattern. So let's split the difference by painting one light bulb in half and making it fit. Genius move. I mean, that's just problem solving at its finest. I always enjoy this shot right here, where you can just see the subtle glow of the Matterhorn. You know, while I have no fares, I don't know that. I'll have to check out if there is a second light bulb inside the shop. I'll have to check that out. I mean, if they made the mistake once, they probably made it twice. I'm taking you to one of my favorite little quiet spots over on Main Street. So as I've talked about before on these, I've explained that, they wanted to do an international street on the outside of Main Street. I've also explained why that's probably the best thing that they never did, because it's become such a crucial space. But what I haven't shown you on these weekly rips through the park is the first aid. Now, first aid buildings, not that special. But what is great is how quiet it is, and that you get this whole big front lawn to yourself. Let me get my gimbal figured out here. So what's so cool about this is they could have easily, you've got sort of, curbside seating over here. And they could have easily put in a picnic area here, but instead they put in a front lawn. And that lawn just makes the building look so much more real. I don't know if you guys can read it or not. Let me get the gimbal to participate. But that window right there says "Making Wishes Come True." And I just think that's so amazing. Brooks Eagle writes in and says, "Disney fam, my favorite Uber driver, Brickey Mouse. Let's see that little train that runs inside of the shops of Main Street. Don't remember exactly where it is." Well, you don't have to remember, Brooks, where it is, because I know where that little train is. And that is one of my favorite shop details. So I will warn you guys, when I go into the shop, I probably won't do a lot of narrating, because that's when people really look at you like you're crazy. Oh, thank you so much, Jamie. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody helping me out here. So let's look at this. The old-timey car serving corn dogs, which, if you're a Sean Mort fan, that's where he had his first corn dog ever. And I think he had already had 9 or 10 other snacks that day. So I'm pretty sure that corn dog didn't make it down his stomach and instead made it somewhere in my house. All right, let's find that choo-choo train inside the store. The last couple of weeks, we haven't really Ubered on Main. Jeff giving Brooks a shout out on his Uber. It is a pretty legendary request. Just soak it in. It's so beautiful here. All right, so we got to find the train, which means we're going to go down the street. Which, man, the people eating food lined up against the sidewalk is just already an amazing vibe. So the Crystal Arcade. Man, I don't know how long this train's been here. That's a really good question, because the history of the shops is a hard one to research. All right, let's hop in. All right, let's find that train. There she goes. There she goes. Really getting those orbs from the acrylic glass that goes around the 3 cameras on this phone. I appreciate that, Brooks. I love sharing the magic with people. So if you look, we got some famous hitchhikers. And you can also see that the wallpaper behind the train has some silhouettes of some famous buildings from the park. And they should sell that wallpaper for a trim to put around the top of your own house. But look at all the characters. All right, where did it go? Where did it go? I've lost the train. It is crazy in here. I guess it's above me somewhere. Yeah, right? It all kind of comes together. And it's so cool that there it is. There she goes. We'll film it doing this bend here. Look at that, making a stop. Who's on board? Looks like a lot of celebrities. All right, we did it. So happy to drop you off at the train set. Please leave me a positive review. Just look at this little alleyway here. It's so good. And then this pattern over here on the wall. I do wonder why it switches tonal values. All right, let's head out. If you look back up, that metal encasing that's over the top of it there, it feels very old school New York City or like something you would see in Europe. And then look at that, the Crystal Arcade sign. Woo, so good. All right, let's get out of this mess. I'm footloose and fearless. Send me where you want to go. Uh-oh, Brooks Engel again. Make a trip to the brick patterns. Oh, you want all the deep cuts tonight. All the deep cuts. All right. I see what you're doing. Let's do it. Before we do the brick patterns, let's just observe where we were just at from a distance. I mean, that's fantastic design when it looks that well put together when we're inside that little loop, but from across the street to have all this different detail and the levels that make it feel so much bigger than a micro block. I mean, it really looks like a real little vista in the town you wish you lived in. All right, let's dig deeper. Oh, the deep digs make it what it is. So, one of the very first things ever put together in Disneyland was this wall. This is the brick pattern wall, and it would stand, I believe, over on Main Street. And I don't know how well you can tell at night, but there's 4 different patterns. This sort of classic brick with a rough edge, a traditional smooth, a really wonky with a distress, and then just sort of a wonky with not as much distress. And so what they would do is they would send workers over to this wall and they'd say, hey, you guys are working on this building and you need to use this pattern. But team B, you're working on this building, you need to use this pattern. So it was always used as a style guide on how to build whatever they were working on. Some genius came up with the idea of, we should probably not throw that away. So punched a hole in it, made it a water fountain wall, and it hides in a deep, deep back corner next to the lockers. Take your friends and family here if you really want to impress them. Long, long time ago, they used to serve ice cream here, but now it's just nothing. Let's look back from this far back corner. Look at that. How great is that? If you notice, this whole area has about one of every type of texture, paint, and facade that they use on all of Main Street. I was fortunate enough to take a tour earlier this year, and he told me that this is kind of just a pattern for the entire Main Street. That everything in here is a sample of different building styles and techniques that they use, but really condensed in. Once again, with it being condensed and being so many different pockets every 10 to 12 feet, it just makes this little cove feel like so much more is happening than a pickle stand, a locker, and a water fountain. But if you look at it from here, looks like a whole lot more is happening. And yes, they did actually used to sell real carnations and flowers here. That's old school. Oh, my boy Artie wants to see the view from the monorail platform in Tomorrowland. Let's go there and let's do two things while we're going there. Let's, one, remind people that Artie is my co-star in the video, Is There Room for More Pixar and Pixar Pier? Definitely, if you love Disneyland design theory, go check that out, because we walked the whole perimeter and looked at Google Maps to try to figure out, is there room to put more Pixar in the Pixar Pier? And to do a second promotion, because I'm just going to promote everything tonight, I'm going to be taking parts of what I refer to as the outer hub. So before you come to the park next time, if you're from out of town, make sure you check out that video. It'll really show you how to navigate the park like a pro on a busy night. All right, we're cruising now. Thank you so much, Artie, for the Uber fare. Appreciate it. Artie is dad of Disneyland over on the Instagram. Local that comes to the park a couple nights a week, takes good photos, posts them. He's a citizen of Disneyland. Oh, dealer's choice. Brooks wants a dealer's choice. He wants another deep cut. All right, I can make that happen. First, let's check out Pixie Hollow. I got really lucky Friday night when I went live that the water show was happening. Oh, that citizen button. It always eludes me. One day. One day. All right, so we're going to go to the Tomorrowland platform. But first, we are going to go to one of my favorite deep cuts. I'm an honorary citizen. I'm still waiting on my paperwork. You want to talk about a true citizen of Disneyland? They don't call them the Anaheim Ducks for nothing. All right. If we look up here, we get this gorgeous view of Matterhorn just glowing. Makes it even better that they don't have like a spotlight protruding on it. Now we're going to have to avoid the dance party this time because my last video got demonetized because I took 2 passes to the dance party in Tomorrowland, and now I think Meghan Trainor is making money off my video. And at the end of the day, if I could just raise a little bit of money for Meghan Trainor, that's really what it all matters, right? That's being a true citizen of Disneyland, helping out a pop star. The Meghan Trainor GoFundMe. Super quiet spot to hang out. On Rise of the Resistance opening day, I hung out with my friend Alec and Mr. Cheesy Pop Max right here. And we were just drinking cold brews and just talking about what an amazing day we had. And the cold brews, none of us got cream in it because we've been going hard for so long. They looked like a Guinness. They were dark with a foam head. And nearly every 3 minutes, somebody would walk by and go, "Where did you guys get those beers?" Sorry, it's cold brew. No beers in the Disneyland. All right. Let's work our way up the exit to go to one of the most scenic views of all of Disneyland. No dance party tonight, so unfortunately we can't help out Meghan Trainor. Gonna get a good view here in a second. All right, let's just work our way up these stairs. So I'm coming in the exit, which is kind of breaking a rule. But I've found that if you tell the cast members nicely that you just want to take photos and not ride the monorail, they'll be cool and let you come up this way. So let's see if I can do that. I just want to take photos over there if you don't mind. Thank you so much. Oh, you don't have to get the gate for me. Look at that VIP service. This is one of my favorite spots.
Oh, it's like one of the best.
Isn't it? Isn't it great? Cast members here are just the best folks. Okay, here's the big reveal. This is a great Uber fare. Look at that. I mean, Tomorrowland, it looks sick from here. If everything worked, that would be so great. And then as we spin around, you get this beautiful view of Matterhorn.
Did they press it from inside?
And then you can watch down here
Well, I'm not going to suck it.
the subs.
No.
Let's just look at this for a minute.
I pressed the button.
So much Disney layering. You have the subs. You have the monorail track. You have the old people mover track. You used to have the Skyway buckets. Oh, when they had the people climb the Matterhorn, that was so cool. And if we're gonna bring back Matterhorn wishes, let's put that Christmas star back on top of it, right? The Christmas star used to go right there. Woo! Oh, this is a view, man. All right, here we go. This is what I'm waiting for. This is what we're waiting for. Look at that. Now, if we're patient, we'll be able to see it a few more times before it goes away. Just look at all the lights that they have in the water down there. It's so good. I think this needs to be a major location for my Sights and Sounds series. Imagine just setting the camera up properly and holding some of these shots for 30 seconds to a minute. No narration, as much as you like hearing me talk. Look at that, our second pass. And now its final pass, as we'll see it pop up over here, and then it will come right by where we're at. So we'll just chill and just wait for that magic moment. What are you guys doing tonight? I'm at Disneyland shooting this, but are you working? Are you chilling? Is it the end of the day for you? All right, let's just wait for that Matterhorn pop up. Man, Tomorrowland is ghostly quiet tonight. Louis, my man. I want to thank Louis Garcia for his service. Former cast member, ran Autopia for years. True citizen of Disneyland. Oh, you're drawing, Brooks? That's great. All right. As you can see, the Matterhorn is taking its sweet time coming around the bend. But let's just pop back over here for a minute. And just imagine if all that was active. Here we go. Here's what we've been waiting for, kids. The Matterhorn, the Mickey wrap, celebrating Mickey's 60th. Woo! Look at that layering. Fantastic. All right. Let's beat these people. How you doing, sir? Let's beat these folks down the stairs. Get ahead of the curve. All right, the last Uber was for a deep cut, one of my favorite places. I was going to take you over to the Fantasia Gardens, which is one of my all-time favorite spots, but it's pretty mellow here tonight, so I'm going to take you someplace else. Because I think Tomorrowland is pretty chill. And we can work our way over. Look at that. Autopia. Looks so good. We'll pop through here since it's musicless. Look at that beautiful facade. The promise of the space age. Well, we got it to ourselves. All right, let's head in. All the kids love Star Wars Launch Bay. You see a lot of people show up every morning, they pull out their phones, and they're just trying to get a boarding pass to Launch Bay. It's hard to do, but the dream is real. All right, let's work our way over here. Space Mountain looking fantastic. Best neon in the park. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling this redesign here. It's kind of like, it's themed after like a retro car fin, but it looks like what happens when a bad person buys a classic car and you're like, who would put that paint job on that car? All right. So this deep cut is the mid-century modern design of Tomorrowland. And I can just hang out in here forever because it just is so pretty, even though there's way too many themes. But just check out this. Like just the way that restaurant comes together. And one of my favorites is this right here. Everybody's always focused for the ride, but if you come up here and you turn around, you get this cool layering. Let me get resituated. So normally you get this cool bridge right here, but there's a scrim up. And also when you look at it from behind, you just get that optimism of the 60s with people, coming up along this walkway, going across the bridge. You see the people mover track up there in the top. Just this sort of layering and civic design of how the thought of moving people through an urban environment. I just love that bend and that bridge. And you got to look back to really admire it because everybody's always going the other way. Over here you can see the skylights. All right, let's head out.
Hi guys.
So good. And then over here we have 80s Mall. Lot of wasted space. All right, friends. I'm rolling empty. Got 10 minutes left. Still time to send me to another location. Maybe somebody would like to see the construction scrims of Fantasyland. Brooke says, never really spend that much time over there. Usually just a quick walk past it to get to Space Mountain. Brooks, I am blessed to have unlimited access to the park. I have walked every inch of it. I have researched everything. And it is my honor to share these quiet spots that people just don't see. Because like you said, you're here, you're busy. Just look at that track going into this facade, this tubular design. Man. It's so good. As I was saying, maybe you might want to see Small World lit up. Maybe you might want to see the construction scrims. A Fantasyland, a lot of work going on over there. Maybe we'll just chill here. I'll let you decide. You get this paired with Matterhorn. Something else that's really cool in Tomorrowland is there's just seating designed into everything. Like every wall basically acts as a bench. And I want to sit on one. There used to be a cool, astronauts elevator shaft going up the side there. Artie, you have stumped me. I do not, Patrick, I don't know what that is. You have stumped me, my friend. You have given me a destination that I am not aware of. Looks like I got some Googling to do this evening. Fair enough, though. Artie is a local, grew up, been going here his entire life. If he didn't know more than me, he'd been doing it wrong. All right, since I don't know where that is. Oh, yeah. So we're same thing, just two different names. That's the, I know it as the little man from Disneyland. That's how I know that. So somebody requested that a couple of, I think actually maybe on the first or second one when we did this live feed together. And you can't see it at night. It's just pitch black. So maybe if you want to request something else, because it's just, you can't even see it. Let's get this good frame in here. I tell you what, I will take you to, yeah, okay, same thing, just two different names. Okay, yeah, that, knew it sounded familiar. Not being like a know-it-all. I knew it sounded familiar, but. Okay, let's wrap up tonight with heading over to one of my deep cuts. I always like to say goodbye to everybody from one of my favorite quiet spots. So let's head over to the Fantasia Gardens. When I brought my dad here, he was feeling pretty taxed, feeling pretty tired. He doesn't like crowds. So one of the times I brought him here, I took him over to the monorail station. And I said, we can just stand out here on the deck and just kind of look at the sights. And my dad loves just, hanging out and sightseeing. So we did just that. And he was looking over the bridge. And he kept looking at the submarine, and he asked me about it. How do those work? What's the deal with these? And then he just goes, do you mind if I ride the submarines? I've never been on a submarine. I'd like to ride it. I said, yeah, Dad, go ahead. So I walked him down to the entryway, and the old man got caught up in the Disney magic and just went on a submarine ride by himself. I was so proud of him. Oh, look at that layering. Monorail, once again, whipping over the subs. Oh, DCA next trip? Yeah, let's mix it up next time. What do you say? Let's do some DCA next time. I'll take that as a deposit. So pretty here. All right. We'll do DCA next week. We've done this 3 weeks in a row. Unless something's popping. You never know with Disneyland. You never know if there's going to be a new construction project or something people want to see. This little girl is struggling to drive. She was so little, she was having a hard time working the pedals and the steering wheel. All right. I'm amazed. No Galaxy's Edge this week. Look at that monorail. Look at it. Oh, dude, Cars Land is so good. I don't know if you saw the footage in my Sights and Sounds video, but man, it was just, we just nailed it. We hit it on a perfect sunset. So I've showed you this area before from the other side. Let's just check it out from here. So this is the old dock where they would load and unload you from the boat version of Utopia. And that's been gone for a long time. But the dock has remained, and it remains just a complete quiet place where you can hang out. You know, there's normally ducks to hang out with you and a couple of families, but it can get pretty mellow. It's been a great place to hang out with friends as a local, or if you're on a long day, you need to recharge your batteries. That's one of those good Disneyland power nap spots where you can just hang out, get away from it, recharge your batteries. And you get monorails passing by, which really kind of reminds you that you're still here. Let's head down to it. I'm telling you right now, this kid, I might need a pre-hammer time chimichanga. So when you come down here, look at this family hanging out with this big bird. That bird is huge. And he just chills here. You know what? I'm not going to go further because I don't want to interrupt his vibes. He's having fun with that family. It looks like they're getting ready to feed him another bird, which is both cool and weird. This little chalet here. All right, let's head up to the top of the Small World Mall. Or as I've talked Jerrod into it, where there needs to be like a coffee shop. My dream is to turn this into a restaurant. All right, look at this. We're getting perfect timing. Perfect way to say goodbye. We got the Disneyland rail passing through. Got to try to stay away from the Small World music. It demonetizes me. Can we get the train? Can we get the train? Are we too far away? I love the train. Ripping through there when it's just a silhouette. Oh my God, it's all hitting us at once. We get the train there. See it just ripping through. I love it because everybody just looks like a silhouette. You can just see them waving as shadows. And the train's going back. And then we have the dock down there. There it is. I knew I heard it. I knew I heard the monorail. And there's the family feeding the big bird, another bird. All right, friends, I hope you had fun on another successful Uber lap around the park. Next week, we'll do Disneyland. And tomorrow there will be no talk show during the regular time because I'm coming to Disneyland tomorrow night for 80s night. So I'll be doing a live feed from 80s night, showing you what that vibe's like. But thank you so much for everybody who took a journey with me tonight. I appreciate it. And I'm glad that you guys are having fun with the videos because I'm having a blast making them and sharing the magic with you. So until next time I see you, make sure that you live the magic every single day. Goodbye.